Good day, everyone. I am Sunshine Izacha, a student of North Sushatun campus. Today, we will be learning about designing learning portfolios. But before that, let us first define what is portfolio. So, portfolio is a collection of projects and works of students that exemplifies their skills, attitudes, and interests within a certain period of time. In short, portfolio is a collection of the students' best works and materials which are essential in assessing their progress and achievement. So portfolio are not only used in a classroom but also in a workplace. Now let's proceed to portfolio assessment. So portfolio assessment is a detailed, unique, and personalized evaluation of what the learners know and can do. A portfolio is a collection of pieces of evidence of efforts, learning development, growth, and achievement. So this portfolio, it is the evidence of efforts, the achievements, the growth, and the development of your learners or your students. So portfolio assessment is useful and widely used in assessing and measuring the students' progress. After we define portfolio, so portfolio is a pieces of evidence, right? So here in portfolio assessment, we will question how am I using the evidence? So it could answer to offer to the next level. So because we all know that portfolio consists of evidences, we can identify if the learners is ready to the next level. Then to promote development and also to document the abilities. So since portfolio, it also includes documentation of your activities in every or in every lesson. Now let's proceed to the purposes of learning portfolio. So learning portfolio guides the learner and the teachers to set and establish goals aligned with the learning objectives. So second, the process of portfolio ensures the active participation of a learner and helps the learner to examine his or her growth and development over time. So since we all know that the students are the ones who are doing their portfolio, so they are involved in the learning process or in doing in different activities. So of course, it involves active participation of the students, and it also helps the learner to examine their growth over time since they are the one who are doing their portfolios, right? Next is the portfolio processes provide chances for self-evaluation and reflection. So I haven't mentioned that portfolio in doing portfolio it involves reflection. So portfolio processes it provides the chances for self-evaluation and also self or reflection. Fourth, portfolio enhances the student's learning and current achievement and showcases and documents the development and growth in more a contextualized approach. So the learners placing the material taught in a specific context. So our learnings or our the material that being taught to the students are being placed in our portfolio so we can showcase and document so we showcase and document our development our growth no, in doing portfolio. Next is portfolio can evaluate teaching effectiveness. So as what I have mentioned earlier, portfolio is a pieces of evidence, right? So here, in doing portfolio, the teacher can evaluate if their teaching is effective or not, since it includes all the activities, all the performances, all the assessments of the students. Next, portfolio can help evaluate and improve the curriculum. Since we all know that portfolio is a pieces of evidence of the student's work, so the teacher can identify where the students are having a hard time in the lesson. So by that, So by the help of portfolio, we can evaluate and improve the curriculum. Portfolio reinforces hands-on and concrete experiences. So it is hands-on, no? Since the learners are the one who are doing their activities, they're doing their portfolios, their performances. So it is a hands-on and concrete experiences. We are the ones who are manipulating the activities, all the activities. And lastly, portfolio can motivate parents and other stakeholders to become involved in the learner's evaluation plan. So, one of the um, advantages, no, of portfolio, as we all know, if the teacher or if the parents, no, if the parents are trying to ask the teachers why is their students having a low grade. So in by the help of portfolio, the teacher can easily show the evidence to the parents or the portfolio to the parents, no, the activities or the learning or the progress of the students, or why is the students having a low grade in that particular subject. All right. Now let's proceed to the types of learning portfolio. So first we have documentary portfolio. So it states here that documentary portfolio involves a collection of work over time, showing the growth and improvement, reflecting the student's learning and identified outcomes. So it is also called growth portfolio. So let us keep in mind that documentary portfolio is also called a growth portfolio. So growth, increasing the growth of the students, no. So here, example of documentary portfolio, it includes the anecdotal records, no, our observations in our students, checklist, and also the summatives, no. Now let's proceed to process portfolio. So, process portfolio demonstrate all phases of the learning process. Hence, the arrangement is based on the learner's metacognitive processing. So here in process portfolio, so it includes explanation of how you achieve your work over time. So it the creator explained how he created his project by showing the process. So let us keep this in mind, the word process. No? So here the creator or the students will explain how he created his project by showing the process. So in art, so he or she has to explain how he or she come up with that artwork. Then of course, he or she should provide the step by step process in doing that artwork. Now let's proceed to the showcase portfolio. So, showcase portfolio, this is the kind that shows only the best of the students' output and products. So, let's always remember the word best. Only the best of your output or products. So, showcase portfolio, it highlights the student's success, and also, showcase portfolio is difficult to prepare because of the big decision factor in selecting your best product or your best art or your best work. No, so the compiler should think about the audience and its purpose to determine the appropriate item and their best works. So, student might also create a written reflection on the relevance of the included item. So, you should put your reflection under your activity or your work. No, so you should, of course, you should include the date and dapat in order siya. When you are compiling your showcase portfolio, it should be in order. So na ay date, then dapat in order. Now let's proceed to the class portfolio. So class portfolio contains a student's grade and evaluative assessment of the student by the teacher. So it consists the grade received in different assignment and assessments, which can be used to calculate the overall performance of the students. So um, in this way, the teacher can make judgment of your learning. Okay. And lastly, we have ideal portfolio. So this contains all the work a student has been completed. So here, it includes reflection that provides insights into the student's learning process and achievement. At this point, let us proceed to the essential characteristics of portfolio assessment. First, portfolio is an assessment that is done together by the learners and the teacher. Second, the portfolio should be an opportunity to exhibit the samples of work or output that show the student's growth, development, and achievement over time. Third, the criteria for selecting and assessing the portfolio, especially the contents, must be clear both to the teacher and students at the outsets of the process. Now, in order for you to know how to create a learning portfolio, so here let us discuss the basic elements of learning portfolios. Of course, we have to start with the cover letter. So this part contains the about the author. So it's all about you. So a brief context of what the portfolio shows about the progress of development of skills, abilities, and learning, and summarizes the pieces of evidence of progress and learning. So here in the cover letter, you have to summarize all of the pieces of evidence of progress and learning during your whole semester or whole grading or the whole quarter. Next is the table of contents with numbered pages. Of course, it is important to include the numbered pages in your table of contents. Next, it is your entries. So both the core and optional items. So the core items, it is those necessary to be included. So the core items are the mandatory items. It is a must to be included on the assessment criteria. So optional items are those based on the learner's choice. So it is about your choice. So the optional items will be included to show the uniqueness of the learner's output. It may be the best pieces of work or the trouble or the less successful with the respective explanation, but ultimately shall be based on the objectives set during initial stage. Next is dates on all entries. Of course, it is very important to include the dates in all of your entries or all of your work. So this is to document the proof of development or growth over time. Drafts of initial oral and written output and the revised versions. So the first drafts and the corrected versions to highlight the changes, identify the improvement, and explain the context. So it is also important that you have to include the drafts of initial oral and written output and the revised versions in your portfolio. Next is reflections. The reflections can be at different stages in the learning process. Subjective because it depends on the learner's unique experiences. So for each item in the core and optional entries, you have to provide a rationale for why the item was included as evidence of growth, development, and learning. What did the learner learn from it? So what did you learn from it? What went well for you, no, for the learner? What needs to improve? What were the problem areas? And what is the feeling of the learner on his or her performance? That's all for today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something from my discussion. Thank you and God bless.